Lieutenant Marcus Hale had imagined many strange things when he first signed up for the interstellar diplomacy program. He expected unusual food, unusual technology, maybe even unusual gravity settings. But he never, at any point, imagined the day would come when he would step onto an alien flagship and be told with complete seriousness that he had to share a room with 2 alien warriors, and more importantly, that this room had only 1 bed. The moment he entered the Elendari cruiser Seren Flame, he felt like he had stepped into the heart of a moving cathedral. The corridors glowed with soft blue light that pulsed like a heartbeat. Floating patterns shifted along the walls, forming shapes he could never quite understand. The Elendari were taller than humans, thin yet powerfully built, moving with smooth confidence like trained dancers. Their skin shimmered like polished stone, some bronze, some silver, some pale gold. Marcus tried to keep his posture straight and polite, even though every part of him screamed that he did not belong here. He carried a small duffel bag and a datapad, both suddenly feeling useless next to the elegant alien architecture. His escorts, 2 Elendari warriors, walked ahead of him. Their names were Sarai and Vera, short, rhythmic names that matched the tone of their people. Sarai had bronze skin and bright silver markings across her jaw. Vera had deep violet eyes and hair that moved almost like flowing metal threads. "Lieutenant Hale," Sarai said, her tone calm but firm. "We have prepared your rest chamber. This way." Marcus nodded, trying hard not to stare. "Thank you. I appreciate the hospitality." Vera looked back at him with curiosity, as if she were studying an exotic creature. "It is an honor to house a human diplomat. We have read much about your people, though we have met very few. Hopefully I will make a good first impression," Marcus said with a nervous smile. "You already do," Vera replied. "Your posture shows respect. It is a gesture we value." Marcus didn't have the heart to tell her that his posture was stiff because he was terrified. When they arrived at the rest chamber, the door opened with a whisper. The room was beautiful. Soft lights, flowing wall patterns, a single wide platform rising from the floor like a sculpted piece of art. But Marcus froze when he realized what he was looking at. There was indeed only 1 bed, or at least something that served as one. It was large, yes, bigger than a king-sized mattress, shaped like a shallow bowl. It glowed faintly with blue energy, floating a few inches above the floor, but it was still 1 surface, 1 sleeping place, 1 bed. Marcus blinked. I think there's been a misunderstanding." Sarai stepped inside, placing a hand on the platform with obvious pride. "This is an honor. The Guardian's Rest platform is reserved for close allies." "Yes," Vera added. "To share rest is to share trust." Marcus swallowed, hard. "Share, rest," he repeated, voice thin. "As in, together?" "Of course," Sarai said, completely unaware of his growing panic. "That is why there is only 1 rest platform." Marcus opened his mouth, closed it, tried again. "In human culture," he said slowly, "sharing a bed is intimate." Sarai tilted her head. "Intimate? Do you mean private? Personal?" "Yes," Marcus replied. "Very personal." Vera glanced at Sarai, confused. "The record said humans value closeness during times of stress. Did we misunderstand?" Marcus rubbed the back of his neck. "Humans do value closeness, but not in this way. Not normally. Not with people we just met." The 2 warriors looked genuinely distressed at the idea they might have offended him. "We apologize," Sarai said, lowering her head respectfully. "We thought this would bring honor." No, I'm not offended," Marcus said quickly, lifting his hands. "I just didn't expect it." There was a beat of silence. The glowing lights of the room pulsed softly. Vera approached the platform and sat on the edge. Perhaps we should explain. Among the Elendari, rest is communal. To sleep alone is a sign of distrust. It means you believe those around you would harm you. Marcus blinked again. That was surprisingly heavy. I don't want to insult anyone, he admitted. I just didn't know. Sarai gave him a gentle expression, surprisingly warm for a warrior. Then you do not reject us? No, Marcus said quickly, just confused. Vera smiled, and it transformed her whole face from warrior serious to almost playful. Then let us ease your confusion, human. Sit. Marcus sat stiffly on the opposite end of the bed, the surface molded to his weight like soft memory gel. So, Marcus began slowly, you're saying that sharing a resting space is normal for your people? Normal, Sarai confirmed. Expected, especially among bonded squads. Bonded, Vera added. We trust each other with our lives. Resting together strengthens the connection. Marcus nodded carefully. And since I'm part of your mission team now, that includes me? Yes, Sarai said simply, unless you do not wish to be part of us. That hit him harder than he expected. He didn't want to insult them, not after how welcoming they had been. He was a diplomat. His job was to adapt, not panic. He took a slow breath. I want to be part of the team. I really do. I just need to adjust my expectations. Vera's eyes softened. We can help you. Elendari customs may feel strange at first. Your discomfort does not offend us. Sarai nodded. It is natural. Different stars, different ways. Marcus realized then that the Elendari weren't teasing him, weren't trying to push boundaries. They genuinely believed they were honoring him, and in a way, they were. This wasn't a strange romantic implication. It was a sign of trust, loyalty, and unity. That didn't stop his cheeks from heating when Vera suddenly moved closer. Very close. Part of easing discomfort is physical presence, she explained. Elendari learn calmness through shared proximity. Marcus stiffened like a statue. Is this distressing to you? Sarai asked gently. A little, Marcus admitted. But I'm trying. Sarai approached on his other side, though she maintained a respectful distance. We will go slowly, she said. The platform hummed quietly beneath them, adjusting warmth and support. Marcus was hyper-aware of everything, their closeness, their calm breathing, the faint metallic scent of their skin. Vera took a deep breath and closed her eyes. Human tension is unusual. Your people carry it like armor. Marcus let out a nervous laugh. We're used to danger. So are we, Sarai said, but we face it together. There was sincerity in her voice, deep, unwavering sincerity. Marcus felt his heartbeat steady for the first time since stepping onto the ship. Minutes passed in quiet. The shimmering lights dimmed as the ship shifted into rest cycle. Finally, Marcus spoke softly. Maybe this isn't so bad. Vera smiled without opening her eyes. We are glad. Sarai's voice was warm. You are among allies now. You are safe. And for the first time, Marcus believed it. He still sat awkwardly, still unsure where to put his hands or how to relax properly. But he didn't feel threatened. He didn't feel mocked. He felt included. An unexpected feeling, but not unwelcome. The soft hum of the ship grew rhythmic. Vera gently rested her shoulder against his, not forceful, not overwhelming, just enough to share warmth. Marcus hesitated, then allowed the contact. Sarai nodded approvingly. You adapt quickly, a good trait for a diplomat. Thank you, Marcus whispered. He looked around the room. The glowing walls, the floating bed, the two warriors who now shared his space as if it were completely natural. Maybe to them it was. Maybe to him it could become natural too. And as the lights dimmed further, Marcus felt his tension slowly melting away. The beginning of something new, something unexpected, something that would change far more than just his sleeping arrangements in the days to come. The next morning, if the Elendari even used the word morning, Marcus Hale woke to a soft chime that echoed through the walls like flowing water. The rest platform shifted gently under him, raising slightly to encourage him to wake up. He sat up quickly, nearly forgetting where he was. Then he saw Sarai and Vera already awake, sitting on the edge of the platform, calm and alert like they had never slept at all. "Good waking, Marcus," Sarai said with a polite nod. "Human rest cycle complete?" Vera asked. Marcus stretched his arms. Yes. Your bed platform is surprisingly comfortable." Sarai smiled with quiet pride. "Elendari rest technology is unmatched." Marcus didn't mention the awkwardness he still felt when he remembered how close they had been the night before, but he had survived it, and strangely he felt less tense than usual. Maybe the Elendari way wasn't so bad after all. The door slid open with a hiss, and a younger Elendari messenger entered, face pale with worry. "Warriors Sarai and Vera, Lieutenant Hale, the Council requests your presence. Urgently." Sarai and Vera exchanged a sharp glance. Marcus noticed both women straightened immediately, their warrior expressions returning like armor sliding into place. "What happened?" Marcus asked. The messenger shook her head. "A graviton storm has appeared on the border of our territory. It is growing." Vera rose to her full height. "Impossible. Graviton storms do not appear naturally in this region. That is why the Council calls for you," the messenger said before hurrying out. Marcus followed Sarai and Vera through the glowing corridors of the Elendari cruiser. The calm, soft lights felt different now, not peaceful, but tense. Even the ship's hum seemed deeper, like it sensed the danger. When they arrived at the council chamber, Marcus stepped into a circular room filled with shimmering pillars. Holograms floated in the air, displaying maps of star systems and energy signatures he didn't understand. Several Elendari council members stood around a central platform, their faces grim. One of them, Elder Malus, turned to Marcus with an unreadable expression. "Human Hale, you studied graviton anomalies during your training, did you not?" "Yes," Marcus replied. "I studied records of human experiments, dangerous ones. We abandoned graviton manipulation decades ago." Malus gestured to the hologram. "Look." Marcus stepped forward. The map showed a star system shaking under waves of distorted space, swirling like a violent storm. "This is no natural event," Malus said. Marcus felt his stomach drop. "Someone is making that storm." "Or something," Sarai added. Vera's eyes narrowed. "A weapon?" Malus nodded slowly. "A weapon, or an ancient device waking from sleep." Marcus studied the hologram closer. The energy pattern was familiar. Too familiar. He had seen something just like this in one of his academy case studies, but in that case, the result was devastating. "Ships caught inside the storm will be torn apart," Marcus said quietly. "Did any vessels report in?" "No," Malus replied. "They went silent." Marcus took a breath and stepped back. "Elder, if you want my advice, I think I know how to approach this. But your ships need to move fast and adapt quickly." "Adapt?" an Elendari counselor repeated with distaste. "We do not break formation. We do not abandon tradition." Marcus hesitated. Elendari doctrine was strict. Their fleets were powerful, but predictable. Rituals guided everything, even battle formations. But graviton storms didn't care about rituals. "Elders," Sarai said firmly, "Marcus understands this danger better than any of us. If he says adaptability is required, we must consider it." Marcus felt a small surge of gratitude toward her. Malus folded her hands. Human hail, explain. Marcus pointed to the swirling storm image. You can't fly straight through it. The storm shifts too fast, but if you adjust shield frequency every few seconds and change your vector paths dynamically, random flight patterns? Vera asked. Not random, Marcus corrected. Adaptive. The ship's AI must react to the storm's movement, not stick to a fixed path. Several counselors murmured with discomfort. That breaks with Elendari flight protocol, one said. Marcus nodded. I know, but the storm will tear you apart if you stay rigid. Humans solved a similar problem by letting the AI analyze gravitational waves in real time. We do not allow AI to make autonomous decisions, an elder said sharply. Marcus paused. Then, at least allow assisted guidance. The pilot stays in control, but the AI gives constant micro-adjustments. The room fell silent. Sarai stepped forward. Elders, we cannot ignore the humans' knowledge. If we do nothing, the storm may spread. Malus sighed. Very well, but we must decide who will command this mission. Several eyes turned to Marcus. Marcus blinked. Me? No, I'm not a commander. You understand this threat, Malus said. Our people do not. Sarai added, and you have shown willingness to learn our ways. You even shared rest with warriors. That proves trust. Marcus flushed slightly. That wasn't... yes, I learned. Vera met his eyes. Do you refuse, or do you accept responsibility? Marcus inhaled deeply. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't a pilot. He was a diplomat. But if what he suspected about the storm was true, then someone had to act fast. He thought of the silent ships, the unknown device, the danger spreading. He straightened his posture. I'll do it. I'll help command the mission. Milas nodded once. Then prepare yourself. We depart immediately. Minutes later, Marcus stood on the command deck of the Seren Flame. The central view screen showed the stars stretching as the ship moved at high warp. Sarai and Vera stood on either side of him, both now in full armor. Their presence gave him a strange sense of comfort. Marcus, Vera said, your hands are shaking. Marcus looked down. They were. I never expected to command an alien fleet, he admitted. Sarai placed a steady hand on his shoulder. You are not alone. We stand with you. He exhaled slowly. Thanks. The ship AI announced, approaching graviton disturbance. All decks prepare for adaptive formation. Marcus nodded to the pilot. Begin shield modulation. Switch frequencies every 4 seconds. Yes, Lieutenant, the pilot replied. The view screen flickered and then the storm came into sight. It was enormous, like a spinning sphere of distorted space, swirling with violent light. Stars bent and twisted around it, stretching into lines. Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. Humans created something like this, Vera whispered. We didn't mean to, Marcus replied. Our early experiments were unstable, but this is way stronger. Sarai stepped forward. Vera, manage shield readings. I will coordinate with the other ships. Marcus gave orders he had only practiced in simulations before, but everything came naturally. He explained which shield frequencies resisted gravitational pressure best, how to predict wave bursts from energy spikes, and how to maneuver through the least turbulent zones. The Elendari ships moved slowly into the storm's outer edge. The hull creaked, lights flickered. Gravity wavered. Marcus gripped the railing. Steady, steady. The pilot followed his instructions with surprising skill. Shield reports flashed across the screen. Adjust shields 30%, Marcus called. Done! Shift vector angle. Done! Brace for fluctuation. The ship shook violently. Marcus staggered, but Sarai steadied him. You are doing well, she said. No, Marcus said with a breathless laugh. We are doing well. Despite the danger, Marcus felt a strange excitement. This was what humans did best, Adapt, improvise, survive, and the Elendari, they were learning fast. Suddenly, alarms blared. "Commander Hale!" Vera shouted. "The storm center! Something is activating!" The center of the storm glowed brighter, expanding outward. Marcus stared at it, heart pounding. "That's no natural phenomenon," he whispered. "It's a machine." "A device," Sarai said. "Ancient? Or built by someone who wants to hide it?" Marcus grabbed the console. "We need to get closer. We need to shut it down." Vera's eyes widened. "Closer? Marcus, the gravitational pressure? I know. But if we don't stop it now, the whole sector could collapse." Sarai met his gaze. "Then we go. Together." And the Elendari fleet turned toward the heart of the storm. For the first time, they were following a human's lead, and Marcus felt the weight of every life behind him. But he also felt something else: trust, strength, unity. No matter what waited inside the storm, they would face it as one. The Elendari fleet followed Marcus Hale deeper into the graviton storm. The space around them twisted like rippling water, bending light in strange and frightening ways. Every ship creaked under the pressure, their shields glowing bright as they fought to survive the crushing gravity. Marcus stood at the command console, heart racing, eyes locked on the storm's center. The glowing sphere was no longer just a swirling mass of energy. It was opening, unfolding like a mechanical flower. Inside, something metallic rotated, huge and ancient, covered in symbols that no one on the ship recognized. Sarai whispered, "That device. It must be thousands of years old." "Maybe older," Marcus said quietly. "Whoever made it knew more about graviton fields than we ever did." Vera checked the sensors. "Energy rising. If it reaches full power, the storm will grow. It could wipe out nearby colonies." Marcus nodded slowly. "Then we stop it before that happens." The ship shook again. Marcus grabbed the rail to keep his balance. He could feel the fear around him. The Elendari had never faced something like this. Their discipline kept them calm, but their eyes showed nervous tension. "Marcus," Sarai said calmly, "you must give the order. Do we advance or retreat?" There was no time to hesitate. Human instinct and human determination pulled him forward. "Advance, slowly. Keep shields at full power." The pilot obeyed. The ship crawled toward the ancient device, pushing through thick waves of gravity. Every second felt like walking into a storm of knives. Marcus could almost feel space trying to tear the ship apart. On the screen, the device rotated faster. Light burst from its center. "What is it doing?" Marcus asked. Vera shook her head. "It is trying to stabilize the storm, or expand it, I cannot tell." Marcus studied the energy pattern. Memories of old academy lessons flashed before his eyes. Failed human experiments that created miniature storms. To stop those storms, scientists had disrupted the stabilizing core with a burst of opposite-frequency energy. He breathed out slowly. "I think I know how to disable it." Sarai's eyes went sharp. "Tell us." "We need to fire a pulse at the center of the device, but not a normal weapon blast. It needs to be a frequency that counters the graviton waves." "A tuning pulse," Vera said, understanding instantly. Marcus nodded. "Yes, a pulse that will cancel out its rhythm long enough to shut it down." Melis's voice came through the comms from another ship. "Human Hale, this tactic is untested." "It's our best chance," Marcus replied, "and you trust me enough to be here." There was a long silence. Then Melis said, "Very well. You lead." Marcus turned to Vera. "Can you program the pulse?" "Yes," she said, "but it will take time." "How much?" Marcus asked. "Minutes." Marcus stared at the swirling storm around them. "We don't have minutes." The ship lurched suddenly. A wave hit them so hard the lights flickered and several crew members stumbled. "Shields dropping," the pilot shouted. "How far?" Marcus asked. 60% and falling." Vera worked faster, her fingers moving like lightning across the console. "We must hold." Sarai stepped forward. "All ships form protective ring. Divert power to forward shields." The Elendari fleet moved with perfect unity. Their ships created a loose formation around the Saren flame, taking part of the gravitational pressure on themselves. Marcus was stunned by the sacrifice. They were risking damage to protect him. He turned to Sarai. "They're doing this because of you." "No," Sarai said, meeting his eyes. "Because of you. You brought new strength to us." Marcus felt a surge of responsibility. He wouldn't let these people die, not after they placed their trust in him. "Pulse ready," Vera called. "Fire the tuning pulse," Marcus ordered. Bright energy shot from the ship, a wave of shimmering blue light that spiraled toward the ancient machine. For a second, Marcus thought it worked. The device flickered, slowed, dimmed. Then it surged back to life, brighter than before. Vera's face tightened. "It is resisting." Sarai slammed her fist onto the console. "Then we fire again." Marcus raised a hand. "No, that won't work. It's compensating too fast." He studied the device's movement. Each rotation produced a different pattern, like a changing lock. Each lock needed a different key. "It's changing its frequency," Marcus said. "We need a pulse that shifts with it." "A variable pulse?" Vera asked. "Yes, one that adapts to every change." "That is impossible," she replied. "It would require someone to monitor the readings every second and adjust the pulse in real time." Marcus stared at the rotating core. "I can do it." Sarai turned sharply. "Marcus, that is extremely dangerous. You could overload the console." "I might, but if I don't try, the entire fleet might be lost." Vera hesitated. "If you miss a single adjustment, the pulse could backfire." Marcus placed his hands on the console. "I know, but humans are good at fast thinking. We adapt. That's why I'm here." Sarai's jaw tightened. "I will stand beside you." "So will I," Vera said. Marcus smiled despite the fear. "Let's do this." The console lit up with hundreds of changing lines, frequency patterns, graviton waves, shifting energy signatures. Marcus stared at the mess of numbers, forcing his mind to focus. "Starting variable pulse," Vera announced. The ship hummed. Energy flowed through the systems. The storm roared louder like a beast waking. Marcus watched the readings. "Adjust 2 degrees left." Vera moved the slider. The pulse shifted. "Now 3 degrees up." Light flickered from the ship's forward emitter. "Now drop frequency by 0.4. The pulse tightened, spiraling toward the device. Waves slammed into the ship. The deck shook violently. Alarms screamed. Sarai held on to Marcus to steady him. "Keep going!" Marcus adjusted the controls as fast as he could. His hands blurred over the panel, sweat running down his forehead. "Faster!" he shouted. "It's accelerating!" The ancient device spun wildly now, fighting the pulse, trying to maintain the storm. "Counterwave rising," Vera said. "If it hits us—" "It won't," Marcus yelled. He locked onto the center, saw the rhythm, felt the pattern. He moved with it, not against it. "Now!" Marcus shouted. "Increase output!" Vera slammed the final command. A massive burst of energy shot forward, bright as a newborn star. It hit the device's core directly. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the entire storm convulsed. The swirling walls of gravity shook, twisted, and snapped inward like a collapsing bubble. A shock wave burst out, shaking every ship in the fleet. The ancient device cracked open, its inner light dying like a candle blown out. Silence fell. The storm dissipated, vanishing into empty space. It was over. Minutes later, the command deck was filled with relieved voices. Crew members cheered, some hugging each other, some simply collapsing into chairs. Sarai let out a long breath. "Marcus, you did it!" No, Marcus said. We all did it. Vera smiled, exhaustion softening her features. Your people truly are unpredictable. That's one word for it, Marcus said with a laugh. Milas's voice came through the comms. Human hail, warriors Sarai and Vera. You have saved thousands of lives today. The Elendari owe you a great debt. Marcus stood straighter. Thank you, Elder. It was an honor to serve. Prepare to return to the capital, Milas said. You will all be recognized in a ceremony. The comm cut out. Sarai placed her hand on Marcus's shoulder. You brought fire to our people, Marcus Hale. A fire we did not know we lacked. Vera stepped closer. You adapted to our customs. You guided our fleet. You trusted us, and let us trust you. Marcus felt a warmth in his chest. I didn't do anything special. I just did what humans do best. Still, Sarai said, you have earned something rare. Vera pulled a small metallic symbol from her armor, a curved emblem etched with Elendari markings. She placed it gently in Marcus's hand. The shared rest token, Vera said. It means you are not just an ally, you are family. Marcus stared at the token. It shimmered like starlight. Thank you, he whispered. I don't know what to say. Sarai smiled softly. Say nothing. Just rest. Together. Marcus blinked. Together? Yes, Vera said. Now that you are family, the rest platform belongs to all of us. Marcus laughed lightly. I guess I'll get used to it. Sarai nodded proudly. You already have. As the Seren flame turned toward home, Marcus looked out at the stars, quiet now, peaceful. He had come here as a diplomat, nervous and unsure. Now he was part of something greater. Humanity had shown its spark, and the Elendari had embraced it. Together, they would face whatever came next.